So here we are, back on the creek. I've already been out once. I've already cast out once. We just reached, I think, let me check the time. We've just reached high tide. Literally just reached high tide. And yeah, I've had one chuck out, brought in 2 crabs, so that was fun. So I'm going to resend it now. I've just rebaited. I'm going to resend it now and we'll check it again in 5 minutes. I've got a simple 2-hook cascade on. I'm using some frozen lug and some mussel. Today is just about leisure. I'm not hunting anything. I'm not expecting anything. Although if the crabs were edible, that'd be nice. So I'll send it and I'll come back to you in a bit. We'll do the normal sort of talking and looking around. So I'll see you in a sec. Okay, see how that looks. Why is the front screen not working? I don't know. I know everything's in shot with regards to the rod and everything, although you can't see the tip, can you? Let's put you up. There we go. That's a bit better. As long as I stand sort of over there, should be all right. So anyway, yeah, as I say, I've had one cast out. This boat's going to be a bit of a problem. That's the only problem with coming here, is although there's a boating lake designed for boaters, and there's a space designed specifically for them, they all come here. I don't get it. I don't get it. Paddleboarding's actually one of those things I just don't understand. I don't understand the allure. Anyway, I kindly brought it in for them first time. They can go around it this time. Charging me batteries. Right. So yeah, looks like crabs are going to be a bit of an issue, but I kind of expected that because of the weather. It's so warm and so still that I fully expected crabs to be an issue. To say, today's just about the leisure really, more than anything else. I'm more interested in... They should be alright, I think they're far enough out. I can't tell. We'll find out in a sec, eh? Better loosen my drag off just in case they go through it. Twitch on the line then. Okay, they're past it. So yeah, crabs look like they're going to be the catch of the day today. We'll see. I've only had one chuck and I'm not sure whether I'm going to set up the second rod. Like I said, today for me is largely about relaxing really, getting out of the house. Beautiful day, nice to be side of the sea. It's not so much really about catching today. We will follow the tide out, so as the tide comes in, or goes out should I say, what we'll do, I'll show you, is we will, when the camera screen turns back on, come on. So what we'll do when the tide comes back out is we'll follow it out. We'll go down the stairs and over and out. I think we'll have to wait and see. It's not a deep water mark, this. It is largely a flatties mark. So anything at the side, outside of that really is sort of uncommon here. You do get bass. And this is a very popular for this time of year, very popular. Oh, hello. Very popular mark for, let's see what that knock was, see if there's anything on it. Doesn't feel like it. Oh, no, there is some weight there. Let's have a look, see what that was. Well, whatever it is has come off. See both hooks. Some did fall off. Probably another crab. We shall realign because the baits are still there. We'll send it back out. Give me 2 secs. I'll leave you on. Yeah, something's had a bit of a nose at that one. I might have been a bit preemptive on that strike, but there was a good hard knock then, and something's had a bit of a nose at that one as well. They both had the muscles munched. We'll send it back out. Seems to be a little bit of weed out there. Doesn't seem to be too much of an issue. And now that the boats and paddle boards are gone, I'm just going to nip down here. In fact, I'll show you what I'm doing. So we'll turn the camera around so you can see me cast. Down there. Ish. About there. So we'll resend it. Not going to rebait it. It's only been soaking 4 or 5 minutes. Really not thumping this one out, just putting it about 20 yard out. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my second rod. Let's put me back over here. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my second rod, and I'll have one to right, one to left.
Have you caught much?
Just some crabs. Just some crabs so far. I ain't been here that long. They're back in sea, mate. I don't keep them, can't eat them. So they go back.
Do you keep your fish?
If there's some of legal size and it's worth keeping, yeah.
One way to tie your doggies out, isn't it?
What we'll do is we'll let this soak for 5 or 10 minutes. I'll turn the time lapse on. Let this soak for 5 or 10 minutes and I'll come back to you. Well, one of the curses of coming to a touristy-ish beach during half-term break is there's always going to be a lot of people. I've just had a lovely conversation, ruined my fishing, but I've just had a lovely conversation with a couple that had 4 Labradors, and they've all just been in swimming around. They asked where my bait was and everything like that, and you know, asked if I minded, which was nice of them. A lot of people don't bother with that. Of course I didn't mind, you know, it's not my beach. Yes, it kind of knackered up my fishing for a little bit. There was a lot of disturbance in the water, so on and so forth. Some people might say it knackered the fishing. To be honest, I'm saying that. I don't know whether it would have had any effect in the slightest, to be honest. Baits are still getting stripped. Definitely not fish. Definitely crabs. But it's my understanding I'm just going to have to fish through it. You know, eventually they will disappear. I've got plenty frozen back, plenty mussel. I'm not using the expensive bluey just yet, because it's expensive. And I don't want to be feeding crabs all my expensive bait. So I'm just using frozen lug. I'm not even giving them a whole lug each time. I'm just giving them half lug on each hook and a couple of frozen mussels, just to increase that scent factor, hopefully draw the fish in a little bit. I mean, there is a thought that if the crabs are there, then technically the fish are going to be feeding on them, I suppose. But then again, if the crabs are there, there's an abundance of food for the fish, and are they going to touch your bait? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Oh, I always forget to do the top hook first. Oh, this one's going out with one mussel on it now. Lash this bait on, we'll send it out, and I'm going to do, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, and we'll check it. I can always strap on another mussel for a bit of extra scent top up if I have to. Like I say, I'm not sending out expensive baits to feed the crabs, and anybody who knows will know that at the moment bluey costs an absolute fortune because of because of Brexit, and bluey not being, I believe, not being a native fish to our waters. So I'm going one over there, one over there. I will be out again, all things being equal. Oh, lines around top high. One sec. All things being equal, I'll be out again next weekend, and I'm hoping actually we will be targeting, I say targeting, sole. But I say targeting, we're just going to be out, we're going to be fishing general rigs, we're going to have worms on, so, you know, that's not necessarily targeting, is it, I suppose. So yeah, it's going to be a couple of videos next week. There's going to be this one, and then there's going to be another one, once again from Cleethorpes, somewhere in Cleethorpes, I'm not too sure where. I'm just going where I'm told. Where we'll be targeting sole. You'll find out on the day where that's going to be. I'm not going far out at all today. The creek is not a long range mark, as I think I've already discussed. And yeah, that's it. Not a great deal to report at the moment. Just thought I'd have a chat, have a check-in. It's quietening down now on the beach. There's a few more rods turning up. I think they're going to do the same as me. I'm going to walk it out. There's a couple of rods turned up to the left of me, and in actual fact there's a few turned up to the right on me as well. Yeah, I'm going to turn you off for a little bit, give the camera a bit of a rest, and I'll turn you on if anything's happening. So I'll see you in a bit. Do you know, I'm a numpty. I've just reeled one in, rebaited up, chatted away to myself, and I didn't press record on the camera. So yeah, bait had been out 10 minutes, bait was gone, stripped clean, no sign of it. Just down there is Terry, and he's having the same problem as I was having when I first got here, paddle boarders. You know, each to their own, you know, if you want to do that, fair enough. But it just seems to be something about paddle boarders. They just don't seem to have any respect for the beach users at all. But anyway, let's bring in the Achios. I expect this to be more of the same, stripped clean. There must be an undercurrent down there now because my leads are getting buried. Yeah, there's nothing coming in on this. Although I can still see bait. Oh, I can still see bait, a little bit of bait. That's 10 minutes. That's literally 10 minutes. Those rods have been out. Both stripped clean. What I did say as I was baiting up the other one was that I've decided to just go straight over to just using mussels for a little bit, because I've got a big bag of mussels, and if all I'm doing is feeding crabs, I'm not going to use me better baits, so I'm certainly not sending out bluey while all I'm doing is feeding crabs. Move that up the hook and we'll put some more bait in front of it. Do your top hook first, remember that. I always do bottom hook first and then fight with this top hook. It's a right nightmare. And I hate using bait elastic. So yeah, I'm just gonna, just for the next hour or so, pretty much just be using straight mussel. It'll still put plenty of scent in the water, and hopefully, if nothing else, I'll bring some fish in for later. I'm going to stay a little bit later than I intended to. I've no rush to get home tonight. I'm going to stay a little bit later than I intended to. 3 mussels is probably too much for the size of these hooks, but anyway. But I've no rush to get home tonight, so I'm going to stay a little bit later and follow the tide out, and hopefully in following it out I will miss the crabs. Is that how it works? I don't know. I was speaking to a fella during the time lapse. Actually, I was speaking with him. Local fella, lives around here, old boy, and he reckons on till he uses pig's liver at this time of year. Just cut into a sliver to make it look like a black. Which I suppose, I mean, logic wise, it'd leave a nice scent trail. Most fish will eat any old carrion. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll give it a go someday. Maybe. I don't get told much about any weird and wonderful baits around here. Everybody seems to have sort of good access to, good reasonable price access to worm, to squid, to crab, to prawns. I did see somebody post other day that we're going to try using some, was it crab sticks? It depends what you call them. I call them ocean pinks, which they're not the crab stick ones, they're the ones, same idea, they're just shaped like a prawn. And he was going to give them a whirl. We never heard out back from him, so I don't know how he went on. He never followed up his post with a catch report, so either he had as much luck as I'm having today, or he's keeping it to himself and he did well. I hope he did well. But yeah, could be a bit of a fun video actually, that, to try some weird and wonderful baits. Let me know in the comments below if it's something you'd be interested to see. Of course, just catching some fish would be nice. 2 hours, not so much as a crab so far. Oh, I'm a bit stiff today. That didn't go out as far as I wanted it to. But it'll do. It'll do. I mean, what is the strategy when the crabs are in? Do you just wait them out? Do you try and cast over them? Do you give up and go home? I honestly don't know. Once again, let me know in the comments below, because you're never gonna, I say you're never gonna, you may do someday, but you're never gonna learn to fish from me on this channel as it stands. Got to catch a fish first, don't I? This channel is about learning, and a lot of the learning I do is done down in the comments below. You get a lot of very useful information. There's a lot of, I think I've discussed it before. I'm heavily involved in two major communities: fishing and gardening. The fishing community is a lot more friendly and welcoming than the gardening community. The fishing community also embraces technology, the gardening community doesn't. So I've got to say, it's nice being a member of the fishing community. It's nice being able to talk to people. Like I say, I mean, Terry, I've not yet, well no, I have met him. I didn't know who he was, but I have met him. He's down there, we've got each other on Facebook. And, you know, what will be, will be. So yeah, we're just going to stick it out. I'm going to keep the decent baits for a little bit. The tide is, I mean, the tide goes out exceptionally fast at Cleethorpes. It really, really does. So I am going to walk it out. As soon as we can, we're going to move down onto the beach, which, at the rate at which the tide goes here, that'll probably be in about half an hour. Although the rate at which the crabs are eating the bait, that'll be in about 5 casts. Bit too much tension on that rod, isn't there? It'll be fine. It'll be fine. No real rants today. We've not done a, we'll do a pan about actually before I sign off on this one. Just before the sun sets, we'll do a pan about. I didn't do it earlier because there was a lot of kids about, a lot of other people about. And whilst there is still other people about, they're now further away, so you're not really going to see them in the video. So yeah, let's do a quick pan about. Say it quick, I like to make it nice and slow. Starting over there, you've got, and one of the purposes behind these panabouts and things like that is to describe the marks to new fishermen. So this is the end of the creek, start of the Fitties. All right, I'm on the metal pier. So that over there, you've got sort of Pleasure Island Beach, some tide breakers. See a lot of fishermen fishing between these tide breakers here, over there and there. Tide was a bit too high today for that. I was tempted. It's a nice clear day, and whilst it probably won't show up on camera, I don't know if I'm filming in a high enough resolution, but just to the right of the rods there is Spurn Point. Okay, moving on. Sandbank, that's what I thought when I first started to give this mark its creek name, was it sort of creates a creek here. But in actual fact what it is it's where some of the sea goes inland further up. Then round onto the Fitties Beach, and down there you've got what I believe is known as the Yacht Club mark. When I first arrived this morning, or this afternoon should I say, there was quite a few rods down there. There's the, see if I can't even see it on the viewfinder, just there I think it is the concrete ramp known as the ramp where I wanted to fish, and there's a nice car parking space almost, ooh, kicking camera, there's a nice car parking space almost immediately behind it, but I couldn't get there. There was some self-entitled person in a Porsche who'd taken up a space that was big enough for 2 cars, had plonked himself right in the middle. So I couldn't get in. That's the only kind of thing I have to rant about today. And then you come round the back here and you're straight into the permanent residences down the back of Thorpe Park. Is it Thorpe Park? No, it's not Thorpe Park. What's it called? I can't remember. Straight down the back of the caravan park anyway. And keep going round. A lot of dog walkers, a lot of people up here. It's a dog-friendly beach, but as ever, do pick up after your dog. Don't just bury it in the sand and think the sea will take care of it, because it doesn't. And we're back to where we started from. It's a lovely, lovely mark on a nice day. It really is a lovely mark on a nice day. So I do recommend it's one that you come and try for your new fishermen. It's relatively snag-free. There's not a great deal of crap out in the water. Let's pan you back round, because I'm going to end up catching my cables. And here come the worst part about this mark. Paddle boarders. And I guarantee they will go straight through my line without even thinking about it. So put you back on the rods. There we go. So I'll see you when I bring them in about 5-10 minutes. Just want to eat my words a little bit. There's a gentleman right out there on a paddleboard and a lady just here. And I just want to say, well done you two. First 2 paddleboarders I've come across that paid attention, saw my line, and both either went around or went under. Well done, fair play, thank you. Well, it's that time again. It's time to bring them in. Start with this one again. Once again, been a couple of light taps, and I do mean really light taps this time. Hardly moved the rod at all, although this is quite a stiff rod. Come on, release the weight. There we go. Definitely nothing on it. It's coming in far too light. One hook stripped. Yeah, both hooks stripped again. That's why I'm not sending out good baits. Completely stripped. Just got a 2-hook flapper on this. I want to tie some with a running lead on, to be honest, at some point, but I haven't got around to doing that yet. So once again, I'll rebait and resend. As demoralising as this is, and it really is. It'd be alright if the crabs were edible and they were actually coming in, but they're not. So I've had one, which wasn't even worth keeping for bait. It was fully hard shelled. Other than I suppose somebody's going to pipe up in comments, well, you could have still used it. I don't know, could I? I don't know. I've never used a crab bait. All I know is they're expensive. Oh, do you know? Oh, you're going out with 2 on. Can't be bothered. At least, I suppose, at least the crabs are taking the bait elastic, so the line's coming in clean and free of bait elastic. It's a good thing, I suppose, every cloud. So the birds know the tide's going out. The birds are starting to move in. They'll be looking for anything in sand. And like I said, my intention is to go down onto the sand and follow it out a little bit. I don't know how late I'm going to stay. Bit hungry, to be honest. I've not brought anything to eat or drink with me today. Yeah, I've got some coffee and water in the car, but I can't really leave my gear as I'm here on my own. Done it again, look. Put 3 on, dropped 1. I get the feeling today's going to be a blank. I really do. I should have filmed bringing that crab in. Then at least I could have proven that I landed something today. Hey ho. Getting tangled up on one another. Don't fall. Seem to be casting a bit right, so let's aim a bit left. No, that went pretty much exactly the same place again. So all things being equal, this video will be out Monday. I'm not sure if in the bit I failed to record I discussed I'm going out again next Saturday, or Saturday coming, on the hunt for some sole apparently, so I'm told. Not too sure where we're going, I don't know the mark. It's nice to be out with someone, to be honest. I'm not going on my own. It'd be nice to go out with someone again. Not been out fishing with anybody for a while now. No, it looks like the crabs are getting bored of mussels. Only one stripped hook on this one. So yeah, we're going out for some, apparently going out looking for some sole. So stay tuned, don't forget to subscribe for that. I should be going with a more experienced fisherman than myself. Or should I say, I'm not sure if you would say he's more experienced than myself. He is, but certainly a fisherman that has more success than I do. And as I say, we apparently we're going out to target Dover sole. Is it a Dover sole if it's not caught in Dover? I don't know. But in saying that, apparently we're just going to be using worms. I might take some fish bait as well. But apparently we're just going to be using worm. So it's not really species targeting, is it? Oy, oy, oy. Oh, always forget that about these clip down rigs, don't lift the weight up. But for a beginner caster like myself, the slimlineness of them is a big help. It's a big help. I'm going to go down here to cast, am I? Yes. Probably move down onto the beach after this cast. So I'll shut the camera off. I'll see you again in a bit. Onto the beach by now. But alas, not yet. Let's have a check. I can still see bait online. That's a good start. Maybe crabs are starting to leave. One of them's been attacked. Is it? Yeah, one of them's been attacked. Top off can't been touched. We'll rebait them both. Don't know, is there enough room down there yet? No, I'll have another one from up here first. Yeah, we'll have another one from up here first. Rather than me stand and pick all the mussel and elastic off the line, might as well let the crabs do it. They might as well earn the keep, haven't they? Send it back out, give it 5 minutes, I'll start moving my gear down, and then I'll rebait. So look at the other one while we're here. I don't want to because it's probably going to be stripped. It's got something on it. Oh no, it did have something on it. Whatever was on it has since fallen off. Yeah, load of weed or a crab. Stripped bare. Stripped bare. Not resending that. Not right now. I think I had the crab on that until it was about 10 yards out. And it fell off. Anyway, I'm going to start moving my gear down. So I'll see you down there in a bit. There's still rods turning up, to be fair. Another lad just turned up. Although he seems to be fishing with a spinner and a carp rod. So yeah, anyway, I'll turn the camera off, move everything down there. I'll see you in a bit. So yeah, wasn't recording any of that. Right, we moved down onto the beach. We are about 3 or 4 minutes into one of my first cast. Yes, that didn't have that much curvature on it when I cast it. No movement on it though. So moved down onto the beach. I've not seen a single knock on my line for the best part of 2 hours. Baits are still coming back stripped. So we've definitely got a problem with crabs. All the other rods have packed up and gone home. I'm going to give it another hour or two, then I'm probably going to follow suit. Getting hungry, thirsty, pissed off a little bit, to be honest. But I'll see you in a bit. We'll persevere, and I'll see you in a bit. Well, I feel as though I'm probably flogging a dead horse today. But it's not all about catching, is it? Oh, as I've said many times, it's as much about being out than it is about fishing. Some weed on line. Get off. Pick this off before it gets stuck in eye. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be much doing today, guys. Sorry, I don't think it's going to be an amazingly good video with any catching in it. Although you might see me go arse over tit over a rock. Have I caught myself? Nope. Just a load of weed. On the plus side, oh no, I was going to say on the plus side, my lines ain't stripped. Oh, they're not really, I suppose. Probably resend this. It's clearly a bit of whatever seaweed this is, I don't know. Sea lettuce, I don't know. Only one I know is that bladder-wrack that pops when you stand on it. I don't even know if you guys can hear me. So, I said I'd be out today until I run out of bait. And I've actually just taken stock and I'm running out of bait. Didn't think I was yet. Didn't think I was anywhere close to yet. But I've got maybe 2 or 3 casts worth of mussels left. And maybe 4 or 5 casts worth of worm left. So I'm gonna, as much as this bait isn't that great, it is a little bit chewed, I am gonna resend it. If I can get it to bait up and not fall off the bloody doofery what's-its. There we go. Let's send it. Let's resend it. The benefit of being down here is I've got a little bit more room to cast. So I'm actually able to send it a bit better than up there. So hopefully, even with my limited casting ability, I might be able to get out past the crabs. Just speaking to a fella, and I've been watching him working his way down the beach, and he's been spinning. He's lure fishing, and he said he thought he'd give it a try because he knew the crabs were bad. So he just picked up a lure and came out with a rod. Lo and behold, he's had a bass, apparently, a schoolie bass. Fair play to you. So I'm a lot happier with my casting down here because I've got more room. So let's check the other rod. So I've not had as much as a sniff. The rod tips were promising when I first got down here this afternoon. There was a lot of knocking, but I think the baits are getting stripped before the fish are having a chance to get in on it. Come on, let go of the lead, thank you. Oh, I think I'm in a weed bed. Oh, this is hard work. This has either got a fish on it or a butt ton of weed. This is really hard work. It's coming in. Oh, crab. So how bad at crabs? At least I've landed some, I suppose. Oh God. There we go, look. I don't know what type of crab they are. Obviously this is a little piddly one. The one that I brought in earlier actually was considerably bigger than this. I think it's a male, pointy little bit. But these little blighters, I've been feeding these all day. Let's get it back, I suppose. I don't know. Once again, actually, before I put it back, firm shelled, it's not soft shelled. Would you guys consider keeping that to use as a bait? I don't know. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. And then maybe next time I'll keep one. Don't know. Anyway, putting it back for now. But at least I've landed something, eh? I suppose that's a bit of a positive. At least I've landed something. Once again, a whole load more weed. So I'm going to have a few more chucks. I'm going to persevere. It's still nice, the sun's still up, still warmish, and it's still dry. So I'll persevere for a bit longer. Like I say, got a couple of blacks, frozen blacks left, and a fair bit of mussel. So I'll keep going for now. I know the smarter fishermen have already packed up and gone home. But hey ho, what else would I be doing? Sat on a computer, maybe? Maybe having dreams of being an F1 racer. Where's my elastic gone? These mussels are going down pretty fast. I'm sure they would be if I were dropping them on the floor all the time, wouldn't they? Look at that. That was a monster, wasn't it? Oh, do you know? Oh, so anyway, yeah guys, yeah, I'm going to keep saying this, it's not all about catching, is it? And besides which, all you guys out there in YouTube land, you need to remember, I'm a beginner. I've been fishing since December. Which isn't long. We're only in June. And I'm probably sending baits that are too big. That should have been a lesson that I've learned long ago. Oh, that one's completely stripped. Let's get this weed off. But I haven't. It's not a lesson I learnt long ago. I'm saying I probably should have done. But I suppose really it depends what you're aiming for. I certainly ain't after a trophy fish. If I was after a trophy fish, I wouldn't have come to the creek. It's not known for big fish. It's known for a lot of little fish who don't even seem to be around today. In fact, I think that was my last bit of worm. A little scraggly bit of worm. So I think, looking at the water, I'm going to have one or two more casts and call it a day. The water goes out incredibly fast here. So yeah, I think I'll have one or two more casts. and then that'll be me. I'll pack down and go home. I don't think there's going to be many tales of success coming from Cleethorpes Creek this week. I'd have loved... I was looking at, to be honest, I was looking at going to Yorkshire today, but I just couldn't. I couldn't quantify. If I'd have had fresh worm, I probably would have gone. But I couldn't today. That would have been ideal. I would have liked to have gone to Yorkshire, or even Easington, but I just couldn't do it today. Oh, let's send this one over there, bugger it. Not the best cast I've done all day, probably. Dee-dee-dee. So yeah, I've just been waffling for 20 minutes to myself, haven't I really, guys? This is going to be my last cast today. I'm calling it a day. I fished one on the flood and nearly 4 on the ebb. I've been here nearly 5 hours. No, I haven't. 4 hours. And I've had nothing but crustaceans all day. So I'll take camera off, and if we get lucky, and if something happens, I'll turn it back on. This, just turned you back on there, guys. This rod is quivering like mad. Probably just crabs again. But I'm just waiting for a nice solid knock. Although I'm not necessarily going to get one of those if it's a flatty, because where I've cast it out, it's like, if anything, it is likely to be a little flatty. It's likely just to be nibbling on the line. But it's quivering like mad, just ever so slight. Come on, take it. It's probably a crab trying to carry the bait off somewhere. But it's the most interesting action I've seen almost all day. Oh, there we go. That was a bit more solid. Come on, take it. Still quivering. Let's see what that is. I think it was weed on the line. Oh, yeah, and I hear crabs try burying my weight. Come on, out you come. Come on, off you come. Hopefully it won't clog up. Oh, some weight to it. Probably just weed like, but some weight to it. Oh, it's not a blank. Oh, come here. Come here. Calm down. Calm yourself down. Oh, you're a lively beggar, you. It's not a bad sized dab, that one. Not a bad sized dab. And as per usual, with a dab, it swallowed hook. Hui, let's get the hook length off. So there we go. Nice flatty, nice dab. Let's get it back. Right, let's see if lightning can't strike twice, shall we? I doubt it. But it's barely in any water now, so it's going to have to come in. Come on, let go of it. There we go. So all in all, guys, not too much of a bad day today. Bit of a downer because of the crabs, really. It's clear from that last fish that the fish are out there. They're just not able to get to the bait before the crabs do. So it's a bit of a downer. But there's always next time, isn't there? There's always next time. So I hope that there's been some enjoyment in this for you guys. Appreciate not a great deal of catching, a little bit of a moan, and not a great deal going on. But still, if you've enjoyed it and you're not already subscribed, please do consider subscribing. Please do press that like button or that dislike button. Please do get involved in the conversation in the comments section below. That last one is the most important one for me. You can tell me what you would have done differently today, and 90% of the comments are probably going to be gone home. And I can believe you. I really can. But it's simple. I didn't want to. So I stuck it out and I was rewarded with a nice size flounder on that last cast. That was a nice size for me, that was. A flounder anyway. So it's not a blank. I didn't intend for it to be a cliffhanger video all the way through where, you know, will there, won't there, will he, won't he? That's just the way it goes. So I'm going to finish packing up and I'll see you later.